Hey, vinyl community, Jeff here. I am hoping the weather holds out. It got really dark and cloudy. It was supposed to be getting rain all week, but anyway, the power flickered and then the power went out, and then it was out for about less than 60 seconds. It came back, so it seems like it's calming down out there. So I figured, hey, let's jump on and make a video. We still have some light in the house here. But anyway, yeah, I wanted to look at some of the recent, I got a reissue and a couple new albums, new releases that came out. So I wanted to show these real quick. Now this, I pre-ordered a few months ago and it came in recently. And this is Chastain's The Voice of the Cult. Now Chastain, if you're not familiar with David Chastain and his band, you know, it's American metal, power metal. He's a shredder. He's got instrumental albums out. That's how I learned about him, was his instrumental stuff, where he's just one of those, you know, phenomenal shredding guitar players. Chastain is a band. It's got a vocalist. It's always, for the life of Chastain, it's always been a female-fronted band. And these earlier albums have Leather Leon on vocals, and then later they got, you know, a replacement, and then Leather came back, and they've done some albums. So anyway, it's always been a female-fronted metal band. Just phenomenal musicians, phenomenal metal voice. Anyway, this is the fourth Chastain album. This is originally a 1988 release. So I'm not sure. This was on Shadow Kingdom Records. And like I say, I pre-ordered it, and then they, you know, it came out just recently. It's on a nice blue, white, and red splatter. Blue with white and red. And yeah, Shadow Kingdom Records always does a great job with their music, with their releases. Always been thrilled about that. This one, let's see, what does it say on here? The fourth full-length album, originally released 1988 with David T. Chastain on leads and Leather Leon on vocals. Incredible songs with explosive solos, a true masterpiece of U.S. power metal. Comes in a nice polyline sleeve. Has a insert, picture of the band, lyrics, images, collage, all that fun stuff. Yeah, this is what the band looks like if you're not familiar. And this one actually came with the poster. This is the album cover. See that? Really nice there. Not sure exactly why. I mean, you know, these have been, I'm really wanting, the first album, one of my favorites, Mystery of Illusion, that is the 1985 album, and that actually was reissued a couple years ago on Jolly Roger Records. So, Jolly Roger is from overseas, Italy, and it's not always easy to get their stuff over here. But I did find one online today, actually from Shadow Kingdom Records, when I went ahead and bought it, because that's actually one of my absolute favorite albums. Back in the day, I didn't even know it was a female vocalist. It was just so killer. It was, I just thought, hey, it's a guy. She's got a gruffer voice, so it sounded like just a guy with a higher pitch vocal range, but just absolutely phenomenal. Blew me away, and then every release after that just got better and better. So that was reissued on Jolly Roger Records, so I went ahead and ordered that. That was a couple years ago. Ruler of the Wasteland, the second album, I don't think has had a reissue yet. Seventh of Never got reissued a couple years ago by another company. I already have an OG copy of that, so I'm not going to track that down. And now we've got For Those Who Dare, Voice of the Cult, and then For Those Who Dare, and some of the ones with the other vocalists would go on from there. But yeah, so it sounds great. I just listened to it actually, and it sounds really good. Just love it. It's been a while since I've actually listened to that fourth album. So, and up next is one. Actually, this I don't know. Somehow this slipped by me because this was the 2021 release, but something brought it to my attention, and I went over and grabbed it real quick. And that's the new one from Death Dealer. Now, Death Dealer started off. It's got all the musicians tend to be from other bands, and I don't want to call it a super group, but it's got Ross the Boss, you know, formerly of Manowar, and it's got Sean Peck from Cage. So it's got that still kind of a power, if you're familiar with Cage or any of that it's still got that power metal sound. His vocals, soaring vocals, great stuff. This is actually, I grabbed it, I just ordered it. I didn't even look at it. I'm like, oh, I missed that, and I grabbed it. Turns out it's an EP, 5 songs. So, and it came out last year. Somehow I missed that. I have picked up all of the other Death Dealer albums. There's 3 more full-length albums that came out in 2013, 2015, and 2020. This is 2021. Great stuff if you're not familiar with the band. Like I say, it's just, I mean, if you're just pure high-power, adrenalized, I say 80s metal only because that's what a lot of people call melodic metal. It's melodic metal. that would have been very common in the 80s, but kicked up a bit more on steroids because it's modern everything, but it's got that just shredding, melodic, soaring feel. And so you've got Stu Marshall on guitar, Sean Peck on vocals, Ross the Boss on guitar, Mike LaPond on bass, and Steve Balonis on drums. I'm totally butchering his name, but anyway, great stuff. I picked up the black. They have one that's also like a sand color, kind of a swirl type thing. Anyway, great stuff. If you're not familiar with Death Dealer and you're into, the soaring melodic power metal type stuff, check it out. It's great stuff. I love all that stuff that Sean Peck has been doing. And then this one's been out a couple months. I finally found it for a decent price, and that's the new Michael Shanker album. This is Universal. It is it's a gatefold. Nice picture of Michael there on another planet, but I'm a big Michael Shanker fan, so pretty much anything I can get my hands on by him, I'm going to. This is another Atomic Fire release, same as that Udo album that came out earlier. So limited 2,000 copies of clear black marble. There's the hype sticker, and yeah, it's. I will say that it feels. Here's the insert. The band. Haven't checked the members to see if it's been. It seems like he's always having a turnover with members. I'm not sure if it's a whole new band or whatever, but it's hard to see that without the. It's kind of a white and black swirl, but clear, but it's hard to see without light behind it. It just kind of looks black until you hold the light and you can kind of see through it. I will say that in comparison to like the last album had some really high energy songs on it. One person I heard review some of their recent stuff saying it almost sounded like thrash metal. Just because it was really fast paced. This album kind of doesn't have that. It kind of seems like, I've listened to it twice, it just feels like it's just solid, middle of the road rock. No real high energy like before. So I don't know, maybe it's a different band lineup. I haven't really checked it. I just love everything. It's got the Michael Schenker feel, and I love his stuff, so I went ahead and grabbed it. Anyway, those are about it. There's been some other older stuff that's come in, but that just wanted to focus on some of the newer things that you maybe have missed if you haven't been aware of the new Chastain or the Michael Shanker that came out a couple months ago. It's mostly import, so it's hard to, once it's finally trickling into U.S. dealers, it's easier to find at a decent price. So, but that's all for now. I will be back. I got more. Talk to you later. Rock on. Rock hard.